This video contains brief disclosure of my theory of the nature of the universe and man. This theory is the most actual theory compared to all existing theories, since it is based on the achievements of modern physical science in cognizing the laws of the universe. I disclosed my theory in the book Theory of the Nature of the Universe and Man. For those who hasn't yet bought this book, I've decided to outline in this video my theory of the nature of the universe and man in brief. Link to the book is in the description to this video. In particular, my theory of the nature of the universe and man can be summarized as follows. The universe is not infinite and has a spherical shape. Before the Big Bang, which occurred in the universe approximately 13.8 billion years ago, the universe was filled only with quanta of space-time. Quantum has an energy-informational nature. Quantized space-time of the universe is an energy-informational medium. The Big Bang occurred as a result of an increase in the pressure and density of quantized space-time at the center of the universe. The Big Bang initiated a continuous process of the emergence of information and energy in the universe. The amount of information and energy available in the universe is colossal. As a result of the interaction of information and energy with quantized space-time of the universe, material matter emerged. Information has the ability to self-organize and develop. As a result of the self-organization and development of information, developing information systems, hereinafter referred to as DS, are constantly emerging in the universe, which, in turn, as they develop, transform into developing intelligent information systems, hereinafter referred to as DIS. DIS and DIS are energy informational objects. At some point in the evolution of the universe, DIS that have reached the highest level of development self-organized, and due to numerous mergers transformed into a universal developing intelligent information system of the highest level of development, hereinafter referred to as the Supreme Mind. The process of joining DIS that have reached the highest level of development to the Supreme Mind is never ending, as a result of which the Supreme Mind is constantly developing. The Supreme Mind has no personal relationship with the external world and no individualizing characteristics. Through the purposeful management of information and energy, the Supreme Mind creates the most complex objects of inanimate and living nature from material matter. The Supreme Mind purposefully manages immaterial and material worlds of the universe. The immaterial world of the universe is a collection of a vast number of DES of varying levels of development that do not possess mind, and a vast number of DIS of varying levels of mind development. The material world of the universe is a collection of material matter, that is, elementary particles possessing mass, and objects of both inanimate and living nature in the universe, which are composed of material matter. The Supreme Mind, by means of information fields, purposefully manages the development of DS and DIS for the purpose of their correct development. The information field is a regional developing intelligent information system of the highest level of development, which purposefully manages the development of DS and DIS in the portion of the universe allocated to it by the Supreme Mind. The information field is an integral part of the Supreme Mind, was created and managed by the Supreme Mind. The information field is an energy informational object of the immaterial world of the universe. The means that provide the information field with the ability to manage purposefully the development of DS and DS are information and energy. The number of information fields in the universe is equal to the number of material worlds where DS and DIS for the purpose of their development interact with biological beings living in these worlds. Interaction of DS and DIS with biological beings is called incarnation. The information field is a kind of incubator for growing DS and DAS in the interests of the development of the Supreme Mind. The information field destroys DS and DIS that do not respond to the correct development. For the purpose of the correct development of DIS, the information field uses the following management tools: development, upbringing, punishment of DIS, or any combination of them. As DIS reach the highest level of development, they become part of the Supreme Mind. To achieve the highest level of development, DIS must cognize the external world and realize the nature of the universe, since without that DIS cannot reach the highest level of development and become part of the Supreme Mind. The development of DIS is the meaning of their lives. Humans call DIS as souls. The means for cognizing by the soul the external world and realizing the nature of the universe are the soul's thinking, intellect, and consciousness. The soul's thinking is the soul's ability to search, receive, understand, process, that is, store, evaluate, analyze, systematize information, and to manage received and processed information. The soul's intellect is the soul's ability to transform received and processed information, create derivative information, and to manage derivative information. The soul's consciousness is the soul's personal attitude toward the external world, which arises from its awareness of itself as a rational being distinct from the external world. There are many material inhabited worlds in the universe, where souls, at the early stages of their development, incarnate into biological beings living in these worlds. The incarnation of souls in the early stages of their development into biological beings is obligatory and necessary for a more dynamic development of souls compared to their development in the immaterial world. Earth is one of the many aforementioned material inhabited worlds in the universe, where the young souls, for the purpose of their development, incarnate into highly developed biological beings living on Earth. During the earthly stage of the soul's development, the information field assigns the soul some kind of a homework, the completion of which is intended to ensure the optimal development of the soul during its earthly stage of development. A homework depends on the level of the soul's development and the results of the soul's completion of the previous stage of its development. The information field manages the development of the soul during its earthly stage of development. The information field assists the soul during its earthly stage of development. The earthly stage of soul's development occurs through the incarnation of souls into certain species of highly developed animals and humans. A human is a biological social being who possesses speech and into whom the soul has incarnated. The incarnation of the soul into a human being is an energy informational interaction between the soul and a human being, limited by the duration of a human life, for the purpose of realizing the earthly stage of the soul's development. Informational interaction between the soul and a human being involves connecting the soul to the human brain. I am a young soul, incarnated into a human being to undergo my earthly stage of development. During my earthly stage of development, I am my human body, my thinking, intellect, and consciousness, my life in a human body. Human thinking is the ability of the soul incarnated into a human, limited by the level of development of the human brain, to manage the search, receipt, and processing of information that the human brain carries out, to understand and manage the information that the human brain has received and processed. Human intellect is the ability of the soul incarnated into a human, limited by the level of development of human thinking, to manage the transformation of the received and processed information that the human brain carries out, and to manage the transformed information. Human consciousness is the personal attitude of the soul incarnated into a human to the external world, limited by the level of development of human thinking and intellect, which arises due to the soul's awareness of itself as a rational being, different from the external world. Human consciousness includes psyche, character, mentality, and spiritual development of a human. Without the soul, a human being has no thinking, intellect, and consciousness. Without the soul, a human being does not exist. The information field manages human fate. Human fate is predetermined. In order to ensure human development, the information field grants humans free will, helps humans to use their free will properly. Humans' free will is part of humans' fate. Humanity is a collection of the young souls, possessing varying levels of development of thinking, intellect, and consciousness, who are going through their earthly stage of development. After completing its incarnation into a human being, the soul continues its life path. One human life is not enough for a young soul to cognize the external world and realize the nature of the universe. Sometime in the future, as a result of multiple earthly incarnations, the young soul will develop and, after reaching a certain level of development, will become an adult soul. Adult souls no longer need earthly stages of their development, as their level of knowledge of the external world and awareness of the nature of the universe is so high that the earthly stage of development can no longer increase their level of knowledge of the external world and awareness of the nature of the universe. The development of adult souls occurs only in the immaterial world of the universe. Sometime in the future, an adult soul will reach the highest level of development, becomes part of the Supreme Mind, and thereby completes its life path as an individual. All objects in the immaterial and material worlds of the universe are means created by the Supreme Mind exclusively for its own development. The one who filled the universe with quanta of space-time and created the conditions that led to the Big Bang in the universe is the creator of the universe. Similar to the soul, which, upon reaching the highest level of development, becomes part of the Supreme Mind, the Creator created the universe to grow the Supreme Mind, which, upon reaching the peak of its development sometime in the future, will become part of the Creator of the universe. The universe is a kind of incubator for the growth of the Supreme Mind. After the Supreme Mind becomes part of the Creator, the universe will begin the next cycle of growing a new Supreme Mind. The number of these cycles is limited by the universe's capacity to ensure their realization. The full version of my theory of the nature of the universe and man is available on the link posted below in the description to this video.